Positive Spin, presenting positive, innovative, and solution-oriented news from around the world. On today's program, we'll hear people throughout the world raise their voices for peace, and we'll experience the Edgar Mitchell effect, inspired by his time as an astronaut in space. Then we'll see Dr. Jane Goodall's heartwarming reunion with a released chimpanzee. After that, we'll profile the 2023 Goldman Prize recipient from Finland. Then we'll learn about Section 14 in Palm Springs, where displaced residents are petitioning for reparations. And we'll hear the inspiring music of bantu. Finally, we'll hear personal messages of peace from people attending the Peace Festival in Marin County, California. In this Positive Spin holiday program, we start our program with messages of peace and two inspiring and heartwarming stories.
Peace is in the heart
of every single
human being.
When you look at all of the problems in this world,
the reason is very simple.
We don't know who we are.
We divide ourselves by education.
We divide ourselves
by economics,
by race,
skin color.
Divide ourselves by everything.
But these differences
mean nothing.
Absolutely
nothing.
And the peace that is on the inside
eludes us
when it should be the most obvious.
The source of my light,
the source of my clarity,
the source of my understanding,
the source of my peace is in me.
Regardless of circumstances.
Peace begins with
each one of us.
When you are in love with your life,
with your existence,
that's when you begin to respect
other people's existence.
I am a voice.
A voice.
For peace.
For peace.
This is a small voice.
But when it joins with the voice of
all the people
who want peace,
then it becomes
a very
It
creates a big voice.
A very big voice.
The spirit within us is the guiding force that makes mankind great. For Earth to survive as a planet, we, humankind, must rise to the challenge of learning to be stewards to Earth and to each other. We no longer can follow the patterns of the generations before, who believed because we were few in number, and the earth was so large that its resources would last forever. Who believed, and we still believe, that conquest creates conformity, and threat produces peace. Function like 12-cylinder engines, operating on only one cylinder because we do not know what we are. We are limited only by what we believe about ourselves. When we change our belief, we will see ourselves differently. We often say, seeing is believing, when precisely the opposite is true. Believing is seeing. To become the creative, intelligent, loving creatures of the universe, that is our true reality.
This is a really exciting moment for me. Here is Wunda, and she nearly died, but thanks to Rebecca, she came back from the dead almost.
Finland is a land of snow and ice and interconnected lakes, rivers, and wetlands, known as peatlands. These boggy expanses of partially decomposed plant matter have been slowly building since the end of the last ice age, and they cover some 30% of Finland's surface area.
Peatlands are not always the sexiest to look at, but in fact they are amazing. Like the Amazon, they are one of our best aids in the fight against climate change.
Tero Mustonen is a fisherman and a leader in his village of Selkie. He is also a co-founder of Snow Change Cooperative, a global network of local and indigenous communities working on climate change solutions.
We discovered the immense capacity of peatlands to be able to restore our waters. They are keeping carbon on the ground and they are drawing down CO2 from the atmosphere in massive quantities.
But after World War II, Finland began to industrialize, which meant cutting down its old-growth forests for timber and draining its peatlands for peat mining. Peat is burned like coal for energy production.
Now we have discovered that peat is more polluting than coal. It's not only the burning of the peat. When the peatlands are drained and no longer underwater, the peat disintegrates and releases all of its carbon directly to the atmosphere.
The Linnanso peatland near Tero's village of Selkie was drained and turned into a peat mine by the state energy company.
I grew up seeing how peat mining destroyed our landscapes, and all of this biodiversity were lost.
In 2010 and again in 2011, toxic runoff from the peat mining site caused a major fish die-off in the nearby waterways. The local people, many of them subsistence fishermen, were devastated.
The pH level of the discharge was 2.77, which is comparable to battery acid. And that's why they killed all the fish and other life. I was the head of the community at that time, here we were, facing this pollution event and a dead river. We had a choice. Do we let it go or fight it?
Fight is what Tero and his community did, ultimately forcing the energy company to close the site and provide initial financing to restore the peatland.
And what we are seeing here is a transformation of a place where it was devoid of life, bursting back into life.
In 2017, with the restoration of Linnanso as inspiration, Tero and Snow Change launched a major rewilding program in Finland. By purchasing degraded peatlands, they could begin returning them to their wild state.
We are seeing the largest rewilding and restoration campaign ever in Finnish history because of this place. Traditional knowledge guides a lot of the work that we do in restoration and rewilding. Traditional knowledge of the Finnish villages and indigenous knowledge of the Sami.
Traditional knowledge is paired with the latest science, and the restoration begins. The first step is to bring water back to the landscape.
By raising the waters, there are immediate benefits. We are able to stop soil-based carbon release and emissions on day one.
Since Snow Change's first land purchase, Tero has led the restoration of 70 peatlands throughout Finland, almost 130,000 acres.
We have been able to demonstrate a big climate solution that will help the whole planet. And it has become a symbol for great hope for many people. I'm filled with reverence for how powerful the comeback can be if we are making it possible for nature to guide the work.
For outstanding environmental achievement for Europe, the 2023 Goldman Environmental Prize is awarded to Tero Mustonen, Selkie, Finland.
Section 14 is a story of families in Palm Springs, California, relegated to a 1 mile square neighborhood because of race-restrictive covenants. They then built a thriving community, only to have it torn away from them in 1961 in a shockingly coordinated effort to burn down their homes and possessions and seize their property. Now, the survivors of Section 14 are suing for compensation and an acknowledgement by the City of Palm Springs for oppression, theft, race discrimination, trauma, and the restrictive covenants they've had to live under all these years. Positive Spin recently covered the Section 14 festival in Palm Springs, where we heard from the lawyer bringing the Section 14 lawsuit and interviewed some of the survivors.
I am so happy to see this huge turnout. Now, you all may not be able to see it because everybody's in the shade, but this is an enormous turnout for the folks who are supportive of Section 14 survivors and descendants. And we've been at this a while, and we're getting really close to getting justice for the victims and the survivors and the descendants. We're not at the finish line yet. So we need everyone to stay in this fight. Don't get weary. Don't get tired. Don't give up, because we are making progress each and every day. We want every visitor that comes into Palm Springs, that spends their money, to know the total history of Palm Springs. Not just the palm trees and the golf courses and the tennis courts, but we want them to know about the vibrant community that was Section 14.
Why are you here and why is this important to you?
Because I was there, and it's important to me for it to be. Yeah, it's important for me to see it end and to carry it to the end. Everybody.
All right, well, my grandmother moved here in the late 50s from Mississippi, running away from Jim Crow. And she came here to the Coachella Valley, which is a beautiful place. She was living here, working here, raising her 10 children here, and I am a descendant of that. So basically, it's important to me to be here to represent for my grandmother. grandmother and all her struggles and everything that she's been through. So I'm here for my grandmother, Taretha.
My name is Sharon Hendricks, and I am a descendant of a Section 14 survivor. My grandfather's name was Willie.
We also have shirts and stuff on the table. Go get you one. You didn't sweat it, that one wearing anyway. So go grab yourself a shirt.
Palm Springs to know that my family were not stragglers. That's what they
also,
said.
if you have not registered with vote, we have a booth set up over there right now. Make sure you do that. It's very, very important.
He started his own construction building. He raised 16 kids without the assistance of the state.
All right, here we go. We're going to try this again one time.
Taken from him.
Let's go. Oh! Let's go, boy.
So you gotta keep fighting, right? You gotta keep fighting.
Yeah.
It's all about the golden rule. Ooh. I wanna talk about the golden rule. Ooh. Oh yes, it's all about the golden rule. Ooh. Yes, it's the age of the golden rule. Ooh. Tell me now, can you love your neighbor as yourself? And care about their happiness and health. If disrespected, can you turn the other cheek and still remain humble and meek? Cunning as a fox, whatever gentle as a dove. Can you forgive and show your enemies love? Can we give the way we want to receive? Well, if seeing is believing, make we practice what we preach with the golden rule. When I treat you how I want to be treated, it's the golden rule. When you know your love could never be defeated, it's the golden rule. When you love Mama Nature and all creatures too, it's the golden rule. We gotta teach it to the children too. Tell me now, are you making time to pray and meditate? And with the Most High communicate? Do you try to keep a smile on your face as you do the best you can to make this world a better place now? We need more peace and harmony, the honoring of human dignity, more justice and equality, 'cause everyone has a right to be free now. And you can keep your religion, but we no need no division. We come together on a global mission to end prejudice and racism. And when your soul is invested, you can expect to be tried and tested, 'cause that's the way we grow, y'all. And who feels it knows it's the golden rule. When I treat you how I want to be treated, it's the golden rule. When you know your love could never be defeated, it's the golden rule. When you love Mama Nature and all creatures too, it's the golden rule. Yo, 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 makes me know. Golden rule, yes, it's the golden rule. It's a way of life and a spiritual tool. Golden rule, rule, your sister golden rule. You got to do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Golden rule, your sister golden rule. When tempers get hot, man, you gotta stay cool. Golden rule, your sister golden rule. Be kind in all you say and do. Yo, most people need peace and security. Some leaders need emotional maturity. But one thing is definitely sure to me, that Jaja needs hearts of purity. Love has true value when you're giving it. Truth has real meaning when you're living it. A change is gonna come when you're being it. And the future looks brighter when we see it in this age of the golden rule. When I treat you how I want to be treated, it's the golden rule. When you know your love could never be defeated, it's the golden rule. When you love Mama Nature and our creatures too, it's the golden rule. We gotta teach it to the children too. We sing again, golden rule. When I treat you how I want to be treated, it's the golden rule. When you know your love could never be defeated, it's the golden rule. When you love Mama Nature and our creatures too, it's the golden rule. We gotta teach it to the children too. One.
I was born Robert Lee Cratch, and I was adopted and named Kirk Lawrence McNaught. And in the 70s, I gave my own name the Green Wave, and I changed left to just Wave. And I was asked the question, what does peace mean to me? And I think you have inner peace, which that's very hard, but at least you have a little more control over that, I think. Outer peace, well, whew, wow, that's a tough one. But there is little orbs of outer peace and inner peace. So it seems like it's a path, like Buddhism or something. It's a practice, or a journey. It's the journey, not the destination, because it doesn't look so peaceful what's coming. But who knows? We're still here. People ask me how I'm doing. I say, well, I'm above ground. And that's a good place to start from, and enjoy the moment the best you can, because life is short. Very short time to be young and a long time to be old.
I am Cora Barron. What peace means to me, it's ongoing. And as we heard tonight with this wonderful panel, it is a process, as my partner has said. It's in our words, our thoughts, our actions, and our self-compassion, so that when we examine what we've said, thought, done, we find a way to make those changes so that they can be more positive, even after the thought, after the word, after the deed. Ways to come to an understanding with ourselves, with others, with the world, to make those changes that can elicit that feeling in others. Because by our examples, by what we're able to do with ourselves, we're also able to help others. And those teachers who teach that moment of meditation to the small children, the bigger children, the incarcerated, the ways to liberate ourselves through poetry and art and music and dance and connection. Those are the ways that we can make a universal peace and towards extending ourselves beyond the peace in our lives and in the lives of our community to those beyond, and understanding with compassion.
Thank you for watching Positive Spin. This show is made possible through the generosity of the Patty and Jack Wright Foundation and the Prem Rawat Foundation. Watch and subscribe to our previous episodes on YouTube, and please like us on Facebook. Follow us on Free Speech TV, Roku, Sling, DirecTV, Dish Network, and Apple TV. I'm Bill McCarthy. Stay safe and healthy, and remember, everyone can create their own positive news.